What's up, everyone? I'm Dimebot. Welcome back to Flight Sim and Favorite Places to Fly. Today we're going to be checking out a rather interesting place. If you have any familiarity with World War II or the Cold War, then the name Bikini Atoll is probably at least passingly familiar to you. This is a place that saw a whole lot of nuclear tests, and not only that, it saw the displacement of an entire population. So there's a lot to get into here. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to cover everything in super depth here, but there's plenty for you to read online if you want to. Let's go ahead and get flying, and I'll cover what I can. So here we are on the atoll. We are in the Marshall Islands in the Pacific. This island itself is made up of 23 islands surrounding a large lagoon, about 229 square miles. Let's go ahead and level off here. And we're just going to kind of follow the chain of islands today while we talk about what is so significant about Bikini Atoll. So, this island, it was part of fighting in World War II, and it eventually was given over to the United States as a minor protectorate. Now, after the war, the U.S. chose it as a nuclear weapons testing site. There was 167 people living here, and they agreed to relocate after they were told about the plan. Although some stories call it a forced relocation, I'm not here to offer my opinion on that. Both versions, I have seen both versions. So, the long and short story on the islanders is they have never been able to return due to the contamination. To this day, there's only a small caretaker contingent that lives on the island, occasional tourists and scientific parties, but it's not recommended to stay there because it is still too dangerous with the radiation, the contamination. You can't eat the plants or wildlife. However, it is getting better, and it has been now declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, remembered for its role in the Cold War and the post-nuclear age. That is the short and admittedly not very detailed sad story of the Bikini Islanders. There was a multi-million-dollar trust fund set up for them, but as I understand, after multiple relocations, it has been drained as of the mid-2010s. Now, as I said, there are a lot of nuclear tests that took place here. 23 of them, in fact. And so that started with regular nuclear bombs right after World War II, right after the first nuclear bombs had been dropped in Japan. That eventually transitioned to hydrogen bomb testing. So you had one bomb dropped here that was so large that it tore a mile-wide crater in the lagoon. You actually had what they called floating islands, huge pieces of coral that were gouged out and floated up. The entire point of this was because the U.S. wanted to know what happened when you drop nuclear bombs on naval ships, which, as it turns out, it's a nuclear bomb. What do you think happens? It kills all the animals and things on board. They actually vaporized a couple smaller islands with some of the tests. It was the Cold War, and things were not necessarily as safe as we would do today. And it's a shame that this is no longer inhabitable. Even in the sim, this is absolutely gorgeous. You can see below us just how amazing this is. Surrounding this lagoon, we can see the stretch of the islands out there curving away. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, the Marshall Islands are not just this one island. This is the one that is probably the most famous, but this is certainly not all of them. This atoll is actually at the northern end of the Ralick chain. It's about 530 miles northwest of the capital of Majuro. But yeah, I just want you guys to take a look. This is a very, very beautiful spot. So, kind of a sad story here. There's more of these around the world that I will probably be taking a look at, left over from the Cold War and the excesses of that decades-long arms race. If you do come here to fly in the sim, definitely bring a float plane like I did. It'll give you a fantastic place to set down. And this is a great VFR flight, just following the atoll on around. And if you so want, you can, of course, take the trip south. There are plenty more islands. A lot of them do have airstrips. So it's fantastic, you know, VFR, IFR flight, depending on how you want to set up your weather. But it's really some interesting opportunities for just over-the-water flying. However, that's all I've got on Bikini Atoll for the day, guys. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. If you have a place you'd like me to check out, one of historical importance or just one that's really beautiful in the sim, leave it in the comments below and I'll see if I can get to it. If you're here to the end, watch time is key on YouTube, so thank you very much. My name is Dimebot. I'll see you guys next time.